So hello there and welcome to probably the most important video I'm ever going to make. Number one, it's my graduation, so this is hopefully going to be a video that I can watch back a million zillion times and show my kids and be like, you know what? At one point in my life, kids, I did that. But secondly, and most importantly, I feel like today is a video where you guys will maybe get to understand who I really am as a person, because I am basically going to be unleashing everything that kind of is me into this video. Mostly because when I feel sad, I want a video to look back on to remind myself on how I got to where I've got to, because there are days where I feel lost, and you know, these videos are memories for me above anything. And I'm hoping that within that, maybe along the way, I can maybe pass on some information that you guys can use while you're at university, because I really feel like we're entering a world where you have to be doing stuff while you're at university. You need to be doing two things at once, because it's no longer enough just to have a university degree. Now look, for me to get to this day means so much more than maybe any of you are really aware of. There have been many moments throughout my degree that I really wanted to drop out. There are moments when my other business was absolutely flying and I was like, why am I doing this? Why would I stick out my degree? It doesn't really matter. You know, you see all this stuff online and everyone is like, don't do a degree. Why would you go to university? It's a waste of money. You're being scammed. You don't need it. And I was kind of reflecting on this last night, and I think it kind of comes back to the one true core value that I hold, and that is that above all, if you start something, you've got to finish it. It doesn't matter how it gets done, it doesn't matter how you do it, you've got to finish it. And truth be told, that is what today is. Today is really a mark for me to be like, yeah, I did it. I did both. Because, you know, running a social media platform and doing modeling is one thing, but actually finishing a degree on top of it is not a feat that many can do, and not a feat that everyone has done. And it's something that I am truly proud of myself above anything. Right, anyways, let's take this right back to the beginning while I shave the poor attempt of a moustache that I've got on my face. When I started university, my life was honestly all over the place. I really thought I knew who I was. I'd just come off the back of a gap year. I'd done all this traveling and I was like, wow, I'm ready for university. I had 500,000 followers at the time and I really thought I was going to attack it and it would only be up from there. How wrong I was. Going into university in London is far more tricky than anything else I ever imagined. It is a whole other world. The university experience that you guys feel like you might experience at other universities just doesn't exist. It was really lonely. I was living in an accommodation with 23 international students, many of whom didn't speak English and wouldn't speak English to me. And the end product of that basically meant that I would go out drinking 7 nights a week. And as a result, I didn't post on social media for 6 months because I literally couldn't do two things at once, because I'd be blackout drunk 4 nights a week. And then I was just about scraping my university work, let alone like try to produce videos on the side. You know, it wasn't feasible. And the decision that I came to was that I had to stop drinking. So I actually stopped drinking halfway through my first year at university, which sounds insane because I don't know if any of you know what university is like, but it is literally, as I mentioned, 7 nights a week of drinking, especially at the start. Kind of looked around at everyone that was going out and drinking and being like, as much as they're having so much fun and they're enjoying this, that's not a person that I wanted to be. You know, I didn't want to be the guy that was waking up at 4 p.m. the next day just ready to go back out again. I wanted something more than that. So beyond just stopping drinking, I also stopped going out, much to a lot of my friends' dismay, and I'm now known as boring by quite a few of them. But I'm okay with that because I kind of have what I wanted to achieve, and that's how I started it, really. Now, something else that I kind of learned off the back of that was friendship groups. I think when I stopped drinking, it kind of made me aware of like who my friends were that really wanted me to do better and support me. People that sort of were coming up to me and, you know, being like, oh, you're boring. They, in the end of the day, they weren't the people that I wanted around me, and that became pretty apparent. And then I also kind of realized that the sort of the modeling and social media content, it wasn't really possible with the endless amounts of socializing, because what I realized is that the hours that I could have been socializing were hours that I could be doing uni work, which would then mean the next day I could then be ahead and do the other stuff. Because in the end of the day, if there's a shoot and I've got to be away for the entire day, I had to do the uni work the night before. And that's kind of meant that I have a very small social group. My social life is at times pretty non-existent, you know, other than maybe Kit and Callum, who I see at work. Outside of that, I maybe have less than 5 friends that I speak to regularly. I mean, at points during my 2nd and 3rd year, I was probably only speaking to my girlfriend every day, and then maybe my parents every other day. I realized that time is precious. And then the next thing, once I'd realised how precious time was that had to go, was weekends. I, hand on heart, have not had a weekend in 2.5 years. I do something every single day. It doesn't matter how ill I am, I will do something productive. I feel like I have to. I feel like there's a little man in my head telling me that I have to, because if I don't, it makes me feel sad. It makes me feel like I haven't achieved for that day. And you know, we have a limited time on this earth, let alone limited time in the day. Wasting days away doing things that I feel like aren't productive had to go, and that was the weekend. Now, within my second year at university, I met my girlfriend. I see a lot of stuff on the internet being like, oh, finding a girlfriend, that's a distraction. Why would you do that? That's wasting and taking up all of your time. Absolutely wrong. If anything, she has changed my life for the better in so many different ways. Like, she is literally David Goggins with long hair. And having a partner who works as hard as she does has pushed me to work far harder than I ever done. And I thought I would pass on some of the knowledge and information that she's kind of given me to you as well. Number one, and this is something that she taught me very, very early on, is that if you have free time and you think you've done everything, you're wrong. And there's always something that you could be doing to get ahead. With university especially, there is always work that you can be doing. And that is something that I really took into my third year, and it has single-handedly changed my life. She also taught me that the things that you don't want to do is often where the biggest reward is. The things that you in your head are like, oh, I don't want to do that, that often is the most rewarding thing that you'll do throughout your day. So try and do the things you don't want to do as early as possible in the day. First of all, because you've got more motivation, and second of all, because you'll reap the rewards at the end and you can be like, yeah, I did that today. And finally, and this is something that I, again, learned maybe in the third year when work really started to pick up, and that is prioritise. You have to evaluate each and every scenario and be like, is this going to further me? There were many, many scenarios at university where I had the option of going to a couple of lectures or going to a shoot in Spain. And at points, I had to sacrifice those couple of lectures to go and do the shoot in Spain, and I'd have to try and catch up on those lectures late at night after the after party or before the after party. And then vice versa, maybe a shoot would come up, but also I'd have an exam, or I'd have a piece of work that was absolutely needed to be in, and I'd have to miss out on that. So you've got to try and evaluate each and every scenario and be like, okay, which is really going to further me the most, and then make that choice. And, you know, at points you'll make the wrong choice. You know, I've definitely made a couple of wrong choices at university, which meant that I was really suffering in my second year in terms of my final grade. But you'll learn, and along the way you'll get to know how to make the better choice. Anyways, my mum is nagging me, say that we need to leave, and normally when mums nag you and say that you need to leave, it's time to leave. So yeah, let's get the show on the road, and let's go and graduate. Anyways, next up on today's agenda is makeup. Now, I know a lot of you guys might be sitting at home being like, why are you applying makeup? You're a bloke, like, you're going to a graduation, you're just walking across the stage, no one, why would you care? Well, as you can see, unfortunately, over the last 2 days, I broke out. That is because I wasn't applying the cream that I showed you guys, and it just went downhill. I got stressed. There's a lot of things that unfortunately I'm trying to solve at the moment. I've had to change suppliers for my brand. There's other things that I can't really say because I'm under NDA, but like it's got really stressful and I broke out. Now, fortunately, Tom Ford agreed to do my makeup, which is like beyond my wildest dreams. Can you see? I still can't believe it. And they agreed to do both me and my mum's makeup, which I thought was like super wholesome. So that is next up. So yeah, let's head to that. Now, in terms of like on the train, we bumped into the UCL hockey team, and honestly, it gave me such a lump in my throat because obviously it's a Wednesday today, and like I would have been going to a hockey match today. So it definitely, moments like that definitely makes me miss like the fact that I'm no longer at university. There was a lot of joy that I had doing that. Anyways, in terms of the makeup itself, it actually turns out that it's my mum's first time having her makeup done since she got married. This could get emotional, man. I think sometimes I forget like how unusual my life now is. Like the things that I do, I've kind of normalized in my head, and you know, like my mum, for example, getting her makeup done. Like I have my makeup done once a week probably for the last 2 years. Let's get this down, mate, and let's go to Tom Ford.
What's the special occasion?
My graduation.
Beautiful.
Ideally as natural as possible.
Yeah.
And then just sort of like covering the like I'm not too bothered on like no contouring or anything like that. It just
Right.
needs like ideally just
Just kind of evening everything, or just
Yeah.
kind of quite imperceptible.
I don't know what that
I mean, it's kind of like you can't. Looks like you're not wearing anything.
Yeah.
that's not going to know or hit him.
They're like, who's that?
Right, well, makeup is done. Mum is looking fabulous. Let's go pick up my gown. Anyways, as we arrive at university, I thought I would give you some context on the whole kind of gown situation, because it is a little bit bizarre and it's not maybe the same as every other university. Now, a lot of universities, they make you buy the gown. It's really expensive and it's something you just keep forever. Like, for example, my mum bought her gown when she graduated university and she still got it. Like, I tried it on this morning. However, at Imperial, they don't do that. So we are actually renting the gown and we are now obviously going to go and try it on. So fingers crossed it actually fits. I mean, I'd hope it fits. I mean, I've given them all my size and my weight and everything. Thinking in a way it's probably nicer. It means that there's less waste and stuff like that. But then again, it is also quite a nice little memory and memento. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. However, the thing that I did think that was super cute is that it's still the same manufacturer. So like the people that made my mum's graduation gown are also making mine. Well, they're not making mine, like they're lending me mine. I don't know if that just means that they've got a monopoly on the entire system or what. But yeah, I just thought that was quite wholesome. Right, well, there's been a fire alarm at the gown collection bit, so apparently all having to wait outside to go and collect the gowns, which is not probably the best start ever. I mean, as long as the gowns don't burn down, it'll be fine, right? That's all we're really here for.
Keeping to your left, either coming in or out of the building, please.
Alright, well this single-handedly might be the longest queue I've ever seen in my entire life. It's about 500 metres long. I guess that's what happens when they think the building's going to burn down and everyone has to wait their turn. The fact that this man has turned up to graduation without a suit is crazy. You're a joker, bro. The main man. This man got me through hockey.
But you tie over the top, otherwise, because you've got it in a waistcoat, and otherwise it will be ruptured.
Yeah,
so.
perfect. Thank you so much. Cheers. Thank you. That's actually gas. You seen that? Also, I brought these bloody pins because I got told that I needed to have pins for my dressing gown, but apparently we don't need pins because it's Velcro. Modern technology, am I right? Honestly, just tell me it's not so gassed. Like it looks sick. Like they definitely when they organised or like orchestrated these were like, you're gonna look like a boss. You're gonna look like honestly, I feel like I could conquer entire like continents dressed like this. This is sick. Right, so we picked up some flowers, which was rather more money than I ever really want to admit. Whoever's got the deal for the flowers for graduation day, you are a business genius. I feel like everyone I've seen has bought a pair, and they're not exactly cheap either. Like, I mean, this is a tiny bouquet, and this was £50. It's okay though. It's okay though. It's a business investment. Anyways, we're now heading to the Royal Albert Hall now that we've done all of that. I am extremely, is this even the right way of phrasing it? I'm very much looking forward to it because I haven't sat down for about 5 or 6 hours, and as a man who consistently loves to lie down, this is definitely right up my street. So yeah, on to the big moment, I guess. Honestly, I'm putting my money on it. There's no graduation venue that's better than this. Like, none.
Natalie Ung, Xiao Cheng Nai,
Holy shit, I'm shaking. That's crazy. 3 years. 3 years for that.
Robert Ramsey, Tal Rahman, Jonathan Roberts.
There we have it. I was absolutely roasted the entire way through that, but what a moment, man. What a moment. Like, that is going to live with me forever and ever and ever. Like, I think that there are moments in your life that no one can ever take away from you, you know? And like, fine, maybe going across the stadium stage was only 5 or 6 seconds, but that's 5 or 6 seconds that no one is ever going to take away from me. I am buzzing, just to say the least. I mean, a little bit sweaty, but also, yeah. Wow. Anyways, I shall see you at home for the finale or like the extra bits, because there's still some more to come. Don't you worry.
So hello, good morning. Yesterday is a day that will stay with me forever and ever, and maybe not for the reasons that I initially thought going in. Going into the day, I was kind of like, oh, it's just like walking across the stage, but like, it's so much more than that. I never actually got a final summation of my time at school because I left during COVID. And actually, that final moment or that final day for me really was saying goodbye to a lot of people that have made up a huge part of my life over the last 3 years. In the end of the day, we were all people going through the exact same experiences, suffering the exact same things, and like, we did it together as a community. Although it's kind of weird to say, and you might go, oh, well, you know, you will see some of them again. I'm not going to see a lot of them again. You know, I haven't seen a lot of the people that I left school with that was 5 years ago, you know, like I never got that sort of closure, that goodbye. And yesterday was kind of that goodbye for me. But I think kind of in summation of this video, and as someone who looks up to a lot of very successful people, there is one common trait that all of them share, and something that I would like to believe that I have been over the last 3 years, and that is consistent. Show up every day. It doesn't matter what it is that's going on. It doesn't matter how small or menial that task is. It will build something bigger. Something that I've kind of seen with a lot of people in my industry, or, you know, people in general, is that they don't have the realization that what you're trying to achieve is a compounding vehicle, and everything that you do is one small piece of the jigsaw towards your big picture. The quote that was yesterday read out by the head of Medical Society was one by Nelson Mandela, and it was basically, everything seems impossible until it's done. And it's true. At many points during this journey, I didn't think I would ever be here. I didn't think I would ever be sat down here with a degree. I really never assumed that it would happen. And just understand that if you keep showing up every single day, that goal or whatever it is that you want to achieve will happen. It will happen because it has to happen. Because if you keep knocking, at some point someone's going to answer that door, you know? Anyways, thank you so much for sharing in what was a massive, massive moment for me, and something that I have worked very, very hard for. So thank you for being here. You guys are absolutely everything to me, and hopefully very soon we're going to hit 1 million subscribers. So if there's a video that you guys want to see, or I don't know, we do a Q&A again, or I don't know, anything, please leave it in the comments. I would love to hear them. But yeah, as always, please make sure you like, subscribe, check out my other videos, and yeah, have a lovely day.